J-Dev is back at it here to give everyone another UFC-related video. I'm just going to be giving my thoughts after seeing UFC 253, my post-fight recap. If for some reason you have not seen this card yet and would like to see it without having anything spoiled, then I suggest that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any forthcoming spoilers. So we're going to get right into it and talk about the co-main event of the evening. We're just going to save the rest of the card, just the main event and the co-main event. So we had Dominic Reyes versus Jan Blachowicz for the UFC Jon Jones Championship. And Jan Blachowicz does come out on top with a second round TKO. I wasn't surprised by that. I predicted Reyes to win, but I knew that Blachowicz has that power, and I wouldn't have been surprised. So he did end up winning the fight. He actually broke Reyes' nose. I do think that the fight might have been stopped a little too quickly, although I think Reyes was in a lot of trouble, but I think he could have got out of that situation, I think. But hey, you know what? I'm not the ref, but I felt that it might have been stopped slightly too early, just from what I saw. I'll have to go back and watch it again, but something didn't look right about that stoppage. But it is what it is. So Blachowicz then, of course, called out Jon Jones. I don't know why, but, you know, if Jon Jones wants to win the light heavyweight championship back again, and maybe if he does, they can just retire the light heavyweight championship. Because honestly, I do want to see Jon Jones go to heavyweight. I do want to see him fight different people. He has not fought Jan Blachowicz yet, and that would be a good fight. And I think a good fight would be Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Jon Jones. I don't know what division Rumble's going to fight in. He says light heavyweight. I think he'd be better at heavyweight, but who knows? But very interesting. Hats off to Jan Blachowicz for winning that belt, and props to Dominic Reyes. He gave a good run. He's still young, and he certainly can get another shot at the title. He's going to have to win a couple more fights. Maybe he can fight Anthony Smith or possibly Alexander Rakic. That would be an interesting fight. So. And then we have, of course, the main event of the evening for the UFC Middleweight Championship. The champion, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. And Dana White had claimed this to be the fight of the year, and it didn't necessarily mean that. It was more of domination of the year. Adesanya took it to Paulo Costa. Costa didn't do what he usually does. He just freaking stood there and didn't throw punches. He threw kicks. So Dana White's pissed, but hey, you know what it is? It is what it is. It's hard when you're going against a guy like Israel Adesanya to have a game plan because he's so unorthodox and he's going to do different things. But props to Adesanya for finishing the fight. And the dude talks a lot of shit, but they did shake hands at one point after the fight was over, so that's good. And I like what he said about fighters' pay for when they miss weight. They should be fined or giving away 90% of their purse instead of, 20%? I think that's a good idea by Israel Adesanya, but of course it's not up to Dana White, it's up to the commission to make that decision. So, it was an interesting card. There was another fight on the flyweights right before the co-main event that was actually pretty good, and that ended up being fight of the night. They got that bonus, and then Blachowicz and Adesanya got performance bonuses of $50,000 as well. So props to them. It wasn't too bad of a card. I'm obviously looking forward to UFC 254 on October 24th when the man, the myth, the legend, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin, the highlight, Gaethje. And then the co-main event of that night will be Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier, I believe. Is that right? So, looking forward to that. Hope you guys all enjoyed UFC 253. And, of course, J-Dev will return.